everybody, this is Dorothy Kilty, and I'm from Raccoon LA Creations on YouTube, and I appreciate you watching your channel. What I'm working on this month is the July Just Scraps Shipping and Shapes Junk Journal Challenge for 2025 for Dear Julie Julie. Now, there's a list of things that we have to create. These challenges are very complete. And I was working on these pages and then I spilled coffee on them. So I've gone to the cover. I need to use all 5 shapes on the cover of this. And the shapes that we need to use are square, round, oval, rectangle, and then a long strip. Okay, so this is going to be the outside of my journal. And you can see I started with long strips right here. I also have another long strip right here, which I may or may not use. And then I've got that, and this is just fabric that I had around. I've got a square. I've got a circle. I've got, here's a rectangle. Okay. And I did lay this out, and I took a picture of it. And so at some point, I will compare it to the picture and see what I think. But for right now, I thought I'd just start laying these out. Now I've got fabric, I've got lace, and I've also got some Dear Julie Julie digitals. This one is a square. This is a rectangle. Okay, so we'll put that right there. Here we have a long strip. Now I've got, let's put this one up here. Here's a circle. Okay, these are mostly circles. This is kind of a rectangle shape. Here's a circle. Some of these, the center is the circle, even though the rest of them may not be. I thought I had a square one. Not sure where that ended up. Let's see. When I spilled my coffee, I kind of moved things around a little bit. So there's kind of no telling where things are going to be. Now, some of the the brown is showing through, and I consulted with my design consultants who convinced me that that was fine. Let's put this one up here and have more of a white one. Let's put that over here. This one has some beige and some brown. So there's a circle in the center, but then this comes out in kind of a star type thing. Okay. Here is the oval shape. I'm going to put the oval over here. And then we have, there's a square. Here's a rectangle. Let's put that down here. And let's put this down here. I'm going to tuck that underneath there, like that. Okay, so this is completely different than what I had before, but I think it's fine. Let's put this one over here. Let's put this one up here. So, of course, as you can see, some of these are not the 5 shapes, but I think that there's enough of the 5 shapes on here so that it looks good. So here's a little bit of another lace. So what do I think? kind of funny because I do have some brown showing through in places, but honestly not a lot of it. So even though I don't know that you can see all 5 shapes here, let's put this one over here, okay? So we have, okay, we do have the long strips here and one across the bottom. This also might be a long strip even though it's, you know, got curlicues on the outside. So we've got lots of rounds. We have a rectangle, we have a square. This is a rectangle back here. This is a rectangle. That's a rectangle. Oh no, this wasn't a rectangle. This is a square because it is, because I cut it to the shape of a square, that's why. Okay, I'm gonna put this way so I get a little bit more of that lace edge showing, which I like. Okay, so now the thing that we have to do is start gluing pieces down. So I'll probably end up with something totally different. So let's see. This comes off, this comes off, this comes off. Let's glue this one down right here. Oh, on the bottom. Okay, well, let's just go like this. I don't know if you can see this. Let me look and see if you can see this. I sewed along the edges to sew all these layers together. I've got the brown, piece of the brown paper, a piece of the the paper that the white envelopes have, and the white envelope, and then that's on the inside, so I've got the pocket there. Okay, let's see. Let's just put this across here for now, and we're gonna glue this down. Okay, I could have made this a lot more definite shapes showing than I have, but you know, I'm starting off with those shapes and I really think that's fine. Let's see, let's just put this down the middle someplace. So this is Fabri-Tac, so it glues fabric to paper, paper to paper, so all kinds of things. So it's honestly probably my favorite glue to use. And this journal is kind of a beach theme, so that's why I went ahead and I had a scrap of this beachy fabric that I bought, so you can see the selvage along the edge. So I used some of that for some of the cover for the front of it. Okay, so we'll put this right up here. Okay, we want a circle. I'm going to move this circle down. No, I'm not either. Yes, I am. Over here. When you're doing a collage, whether it's with paper or whether it's with cloth or whatever you're doing, one of the things that you want for continuity is to have your items join. So you want them to overlap and join together with each other. Let's put this up. This is just scraps that I got one place or another. Some of them were sent to me. They were in my stash, so they are free to use. So we're supposed to be using like leftovers or, you know, from other projects or things that are laying around. So I'm having super fun with this, showing off all the different shapes and the fabrics and stuff. It's really kind of fun. So if we put this up here, this goes here. See, it's completely different than it was just a minute ago, and different than it was than the earlier one that I did that I took pages on. So this is a square. We'll tuck that like that. Okay, we'll tuck it like that. Let's put these little ones up. This one we'll bring down here. Maybe I want this one here. So this and this one are the same, except this one has been coffee dyed and this one hasn't. So let's see. Let's put this here. Let's put this bigger one up here and lay this one like that. No, I think I want it on the front. Gosh darn it. Oh, this goes here. There we go. That goes there. This can go here. Now the other thing I like to do when I'm collaging is I don't want these to line up exactly straight. I like them to overlap each other, and I think it makes it more fun. Okay, let's see. We'll put this one here. That's a little square. And I think what I'm going to do with this one is move it over here, peeking out, and put the square up here. Okay. All right, let's start gluing down now. Now this one, let's see, which side do I like? They're the same difference. So this is tatting. Tatting is absolutely beautiful. And I have friends who look out for things like this to give to me. If they're getting ready to give them to Goodwill or something, and especially if they're torn or stained. Those are the things that I really like to have, because I don't care if they're stained. This is a junk journal, and so it really, I feel like I'm giving new life to things. Now some of my friends give me things that are not stained and everything. I always make sure I tell them that I'm probably going to cut them up, and I may be sharing them with friends who will also cut them up. So I want to just make sure that they are aware of that. And, you know, but if they've tried to give them to their family and nobody wants them, and they have, they don't want them anymore, then maybe giving them to me is not a bad thing. So, and I do love them. I don't put them out on, like, on dressers or things anymore. I have a few I put out, but not very many. But anytime I can use things like this in journals and just really, I think it really brings life to it. Let's see, I don't think this is glued down. Let's put some glue underneath here. Let's see, this is gonna go up there, yep. Okay. Have you guys been screaming at me that I missed that other one? So a lot of times you have doilies that are made up of little granny squares and things that are put together. And They are well, they're beautiful, of course, but they can be cut apart. If you look at where the thread is used to sew them together, they can be cut apart and kind of put them back into their usual normal state, I think. Let's put, I want to glue the smallest ones on last. Now this one, when theirs was cut away from wherever, there's a little bit of a, there was an edge around it. So this was probably like a corner piece, it looks like the way it is. So that makes a beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's get this and tuck it under. My square. Okay, let's put, that's there, this is not there, this is not there. Let's put this one on. So I look at the doilies and try and decide which is the back and which is the front. A lot of times it doesn't really matter. They're both beautiful. They're just different. But I do like to kind of be aware of that when I'm gluing things down. Oh, you know what I meant to do and I haven't done? Darn it. I was going to figure out the clasp and put the clasps on, but that's okay. There's a lot of different closures and stuff that you can do, and I can definitely make something that's really pretty. Okay, let's see. We want this, I want this oval to show. There, that's what I'm going to do. So even though I lay it all out and make sure it's going to fit, it's a work in progress until it's glued down, and that's when I really make the decision. This last month or so has been, kind of crazy. I was supposed to have a medical procedure, and then I got sick with the flu or something, so they didn't want to do that. And then my husband had to have a tooth extraction, among other things, and he ended up getting sick. So he spent the last week in the hospital. So I was supposed to be part of the Terry's Crafty Christmas in July, and this is the first year that I haven't been part of it. And I kind of miss doing that, but I'm so glad that I backed out of it, because with all the stuff that I'm doing, I just wouldn't have had time. If I have time, I'm going to go ahead and make something, but let's just put that right there like that. Okay, we got that one there. I have these. I might just lap that over a little bit. Okay, now I can come back and add more to this later. This is some paper that I was using for for some dyeing. I'm gonna just, let's do it this way. Okay, I'm gonna go put something heavy on this to help it lay flat and glue down, and then I'll be done. So thanks for watching my channel. Come back and see me again, and I appreciate all your support. Another peek, peekaboo.